Alright guys, guess what day it is? Battlebox Day. One of my favorite days of the month. This is the month of May, and we'll get right into it. Stay tuned. Guys, we're going to do something a little different this time. We're going to break down each box one by one. And then I'll show you, instead of having the whole box in front of me digging through it, I'm just going to go over the basic. $24.99. First of all, this month is Mission 39. It's Repair Anything. Gear Aid. So the first box in the basic is your Gear Aid Tenacious Tape. And that is this right here. Clear repair tape. You can repair tents, boots, jackets, whatever. Very cool stuff. Sticks to almost any surface. Will not leave a sticky residue. Tents and tarps, mesh screens, bags and packs, sleeping bags, sleeping pads, low PSI inflatables, boats, waders, gaiters, etc., etc. Very cool stuff to have with you in your pack and in your gear, because you know when you're out using your stuff and if you're going to be out for multiple days, if you're bugging out or whatever, you're going to run into repairs. It's just going to happen. So having things like this are very, very beneficial. So that is a $5 value, $5.25. Next is the Atwood Rope Mini TRD. This is really cool actually. So what this is, it's a micro cord dispenser. Has a little thing to cut it right here. You've got some basically some 125 or 100 pound test line. Stuff can be used for snares, for setting up tarps, shelters, all kinds of stuff. The nice thing here is you have a dispenser that cuts it, that can tension it, that can do all the above. I freaking hate these plastic packages. They're the worst. There you go. Very cool. So you can see you got your tensioner here, you got your little thing to cut the cord here, and then you got your spool. And you just pull it out as you need it. It's tied up right now. Then you can tension it to make it tight, and then you can cut it and use it for whatever. Very, very cool uses. The nice thing is it keeps it all organized in a spool. Very, very cool item. That is a $12.99 value. Definitely, definitely worthwhile. Next up, we have the Seam Grip Gear Aid Seam Grip Field Repair Kit. That's the shoe repair. Oh, here we are. Alright, so this has got all kinds of stuff in it too. But again, the whole idea here is to be able to repair your gear in the field. This is going to help you. If your tent gets a leak, you could seal it with this. It's got some sealant. Comes all in a nice little package here. Looks like you can open. Alright. Comes in a nice little package here. You've got your sealant, your brush, little patches, the whole 9 yards. Very cool thing to have in your camping gear, bug out bag, whatever, because you're going to need to possibly repair your tent or whatever shelter system you're using, whether it's a tarp or a tent. And they never like to go back in the same way, do they? They never do. That's the funny thing. They get them packed in there all tight. Getting them back in is... There we go. So the trick is to put it all up in there. Put it in here. Then you got a nice water resistant container for everything. And to go along with that tape and the test line, so far, great value. $7 $50 value on that. $7.50. Fix and zip. This is super cool. So basically what this is... Oh, I love this packaging. That's the way it needs to be done. Look at that. It's easy. You basically can fix any zipper with this. This is going to come in handy on a jacket, could be on a tent zipper, whatever. You can basically tension this on a broken zipper, use the zipper pull, and then you can re-zip whatever item it is. Super cool item to have in your pack. Like I said, sleeping bags, tents, jackets, whatever. Very, very cool. That is a $10.99 value. Next item is the Gear Aid Shoe Repair Kit. So this is basically just shoe repair. Something you could buy at the grocery store for pretty cheap, I'm sure. But it's definitely a handy item to have with you, because you may need to fix your boots out in the field. So basically it just seals that. It's an adhesive. If you get a tear or something like that, you can seal that so they're still water resistant or waterproof with this. So very good item to have in there as well. $7.75 value. So far, this basic box has lots of very good items that will help you fix things. Next up is this Fiber Fix. This is supposed to be some of the craziest stuff. You can fix a tent, a fishing pole, a garden hose, whatever. It's supposed to be stronger than duct tape, 100 times stronger than duct tape, that is. But it has to be in this little sealant because it's a one-time use item. So once you get it wet, you basically have to get it wet, put in just some room temperature water, wrap it around whatever you want to fix, and then it has a vinyl piece here that after you wrap the fiber fixture around it, you wrap that around it. It dries, it sets, you're good to go. Works really well. Kieran did a really cool demonstration on their Battlbox video of this stuff. So that is awesome to have, and that is a $6 value. So this is stronger than duct tape. So if duct tape's not going to work for the job that you need it to, then that's going to do the job. All right. Next up, we've got we're moving on to the advanced box, which is a $50 cost and a $92 value. You get all these things in the basic plus what's in the advanced. And this month it is the Village and Trails Survival Sewing Kit right here. I've got a pretty good survival sewing kit in my bug out bag, so I'm curious how this compares. I feel like it's a little more comprehensive. It's a lot bigger. That's the one thing. These tins are always nice. Keep things dry. Got a survival sewing kit. You got a bunch of needles. All gives you a nice little breakdown. You've got all folding scissors, metal thimble, patch, zip ties, thread, black buttons, white buttons, tan buttons, curved needles, straight needles, and safety pins. This is actually really handy because safety pins are very good for first aid use as well. So you got some thread. Nice, good stuff here. Zip ties, buttons, all. Thumb. Oh, these scissors are cool. These are definitely cool. See, some of these are, there's your thimble. Some of these can be used for first aid uses as well. So you could utilize a lot of the stuff in here for first aid, as not just for sewing. Little scissors like this would be good. I mean, you should have EMT shears, which we got in the previous Battlbox. But how do these things work? They kind of fold out like this. Nice. Cuts the thread. It cuts the thread. And yeah, nice little folding scissors. Cool. Good thing to have in there. So, very cool item there. That is a $17.37 thing. If you don't have an emergency sewing kit, that could, I mean, that's a huge thing for your clothing, for, again, tents, gear, could come in super handy. So, especially for your clothing, you don't want that to go bad on you. Stronghold haywire clamper is the next item. This is dang cool. Kieran has a cool video as well in the Battlbox video this month of him fixing a old hatchet with this stuff, which is really neat. So you basically use this clamp and this wire. You can use any wire, and you can clamp back together like an old. You could clamp like they have an example here of making yourself a primitive tomahawk. You can affix a knife onto a spear, or a stick for, you know, a spear, which is a great thing to have. You also can fix things with this, you know, like he fixed an old hatchet. So very cool item there. $25 value in the advanced box. So far we are just nothing but very useful items, which is great. Your Pro Plus, or excuse me, your Pro is going to be a Rip Spool Field Repair Kit by Exotac. Exotac makes really good gear, fire starters, lots of EDC stuff, mostly around fire starting and survival stuff. So this is no different here. You have this nice little container here with some thread on the outside and some duct tape, or some, yeah, looks like duct tape. You've got a needle in there. What else we got? Pretty cool actually, because it keeps the tape on a roll. That's really nice. This is actually a Battlbox and Exotac creation. That's pretty cool. Dan over at Battlbox had part in designing this. So you got 60-pound of 30-pound test braided line here, heavy-duty repair tape, fire cord lanyard, and a number 16 sail needle. So this is your fire cord lanyard. So the cordage in here can be opened up, and there's a fire cord type strikeable material. I've got some similar stuff here. These are they make these zip tie things. Not zip tie. Gosh, not lanyard. What is the word I'm looking for? What are these called when you put them on your back and you have zipper pulls? Jeez. Yeah, so these zipper pulls that they have, that Exotech makes, that have fire cord inside them. So this is a very cool item. I totally dig this. So you got tape, spool. I mean, this is something you could put in your EDC kit because it has all-encompassing, has lots of things included inside of it. So that is a $34.95 value. Next up in the Pro is the Pocket Bushman by Cold Steel. It's in the package here. Let's open her up. More crappy packaging to open up. I love it. These are my Skaha too from North Arms. Got a video up on the channel on that if you're interested. If you haven't seen it already. I've always been curious about this Pocket Bushman knife. It's freaking huge for one thing. So it's made of German 4116 cryo quench steel, excuse me, with blade length of 4.5 inches. So it's pretty big, and overall is 10 1/4 inch. Weighs 6.6 ounces and has a 3.5 millimeter blade thickness. Now it's got a unique locking system. You have to basically, so right now it's locked, and the idea behind this is to make it be like a folding fixed blade essentially. So right now in this form right here, you could use it as a fixed blade, and then you can fold it up by pulling. I believe that you just pull on this lanyard. Yeah, that disengages the lock right there, and then you shut the knife. So it is a two-handed process. I don't know how anyone's doing that. Oh, that sucker locks up tight though. You can hear it. Kind of like a strange handle though. It's aluminum, I'm assuming. Maybe steel. It's got a ram safe lock. Monoblock construction with a single set of stainless steel folded in half. Yep, so it's essentially an integral, which is kind of cool. But it's steel, so it's not the most, I don't know, it's not uncomfortable in the hand, but it's a good backup blade to your regular. See, this is probably the best way to close it, is to pull back. I think Kieran cut himself with this guy. Got a clip point blade. Kind of cool. Definitely cool thing to throw in your pack, and you could beat on this knife, and it's going to take a beating, hence the name, hence beat on the knife. It's really thin though. Locking mechanism is definitely unique. Never seen anything like that on a knife before. Look how that works. I was curious if you pulled it hard enough it would just fly open. I'm just kidding. So that is a $33.95 value. So that is the Pro Box. Alright, last and not least is the Pro Plus, and that is the knife of the month. Now it was supposed to be the SOG multi-tool, but there was a little bit of a mix-up with shipping last month, so we got this instead. But this made a lot more sense for this box. Fix, repair anything. You've got pliers, you've got files, you've got screwdrivers, everything enclosed in this, which is great. But this was supposed to be last month's knife of the month, the Black Scout Survival Feather Stick. So they just kind of had to switch it up, which is totally fine. And this is a pretty cool little knife. I've been using it this morning already and doing some feather sticking. Trying to anyway. I'm not the best feather sticker out there, but it definitely works well. And I actually used it to do a little food prep too. Open up some pork shoulders, kind of slice it up a little bit. So works well. It's a really comfortable knife in the hand. It has this nice thumb ramp right here that you can really choke up. It'd be a really good skinning knife, as well as it's a Nessmuk style blade, but as well as like a bushcraft neck knife for feather sticking. Making fire prep, such of those things. But it does good for food prep. It's got a lot of belly. It's got some good jimping right here. Really locks your thumb in. I've noticed when I was using it. It's a small handle, and it's got a nice finger choil right here that really works with that front finger. So it's actually very comfortable. I mean, I have medium-sized hands, and I can get 4-finger grip on this. It's got a lanyard hold attachment here for those that have bigger hands. You could just kind of tie a lanyard and help you get a little bit more traction. But I found that while using this, it's just super comfortable in the hand. It's got nice G10 scales that are very grippy. I got it kind of wet, got some blood and juice on it and stuff from the meat, and just washed it off, and it's good to go, like new. D2 steel. It's got a nice coating, like a not flat dark earth, kind of flat dark earth coating, a little bit lighter. But it works really, really well, and I can see it being a really good neck knife. Now it comes with this sheath. which screams for a new sheath. And I believe there is a member on the Battlbox forum that's making custom sheaths for these that are pretty sweet. They're neck sheaths if you want to use a neck sheath, or if you want to use a belt sheath, this would definitely work. It's got a tech lock type attachment here. So yeah, I'm not sure who made this knife. I know it's a Black Scout Survival design, which I have his flashlight, which is awesome. It's got a 3 1/4 inch blade and a 6.75 overall length, so you got a lot of blade, smaller handle, but I like this style fixed blade. It's kind of how neck knives usually are. They have a little bit longer blade than handle, and this is a good example of that. So the sheath it comes with is injected molded, and it works. It's kind of odd how it's set up though. It's set up for inside the waistband carry, or you can obviously flip this around and carry it right, or it's set up for left hand carry, reverse grip. It's kind of strange how the sheath is set up, so maybe it's meant for inside the waistband, but I would probably take the tech lock off. You can just use this sheath and use it as a neck knife. The sheath works just fine. But there's a guy on the Battlbox forum doing Kydex sheaths, so if you're not a member of the forum, go check that out. But that is the Pro Plus, so you are looking at a total value of $291.68 this month, with a cost of only $150. This knife is sweet, $129.99 value there, so you basically get 2 knives out of this box, which is great. But really for me is all the repair things are things you don't necessarily think of when you're putting together a kit. You think about water and foods, emergency food and shelter, those kind of things, but you don't think about repairing items. You don't think about having the right tools to do that. And these are all going to give you those in one box. This is definitely a great box this month. It may not be the most glamorous box. People like a lot of knives and cool gadgets and stuff, but this is very useful items and things that you really want to have in your bug out bag, or your camping gear, or your just whatever kit you want to put together. All these things are going to be very beneficial, and they don't take up a lot of space. So that's one of the nice things. They don't weigh a lot. A lot of very good uses here, though. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this month's Battlbox video. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll see you on the next one. Real quick, as you can see here, as we finish up this video, how nice this makes. Some really good feathers. Some really tight curls here. Not bad at all. Edge came pretty sharp out of the box too. We're getting some really fine curls there, and that's going to start a fire pretty quick.